All right.
Well, good morning and maybe even good afternoon to some people joining us from the West Coast. And thank you for being here with us. We're excited to talk about Platinum Advantage. And Ben, we've been working on this for quite some time. And I think you've seen some messages go out about this, a lot of great marketing. And so we're excited to kind of show you how this works and really the opportunities for all of you. And we just want to acknowledge you and say thank you for spending your time with us. We realize your time is important and it's extremely valuable. But we also want to acknowledge you because you're investing in you and your business. And that's what we're all about here at Oaktree is investing in programs that are going to help you expand your customer base. And we're really going to talk about that today and how Platinum can help you do that. Now, my name is Aaron Wingert, and I'm on our capital markets team. And you may not know what that is, and that's okay. I partner with this guy and his team quite a bit. And so we have the opportunity to work with our amazing executive team here and our investor partners to develop this program for all of you. And also, Ben, right, you've seen a lot of stuff with this already as well.
I have, yeah. So I'm Ben Martin. I'm an account executive here at Oaktree. Been here for around 3 years now. And this program is definitely a game changer. This is something that we've been looking forward to and something that we're excited to share with everyone. So without all that being said, let's get this going.
Yeah, let's get into it. Now, you're probably going to have questions as we go through this, and that is 100% expected. And what we'll do, we'll go ahead and answer those at the end of the presentation, but go ahead and put those in the chat section or the question section, and we'll certainly take care of everything we can towards the end. Now, additionally, for attending, you're going to get these slides, you'll get the presentation, and we also invite you to go to our website because you can actually get the most updated Platinum Advantage matrix right now. So that is available to you as well. And we've got it here. We're going to refer to it a couple times, so we invite you to do the same. So here is an overview of what we're doing. And again, we're going to hit some of this high level. Some of it we're going to go into a little bit more detail. We'll go over some examples, but make sure you stay to the end, not only for the Q&A, but we've got a special announcement about this Jeremy Minor event. You can see there right there. And so you're not going to want to miss this, right, Ben? You know about sales and closing the sale. You're going to get some really awesome tips, strategies, all sorts of good stuff from that Jeremy Minor training.
That's exciting. It's going to be very good. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Okay, let's get into this. So Platinum, yeah, and what I love about this part, Ben, is, what's the big idea, right? What's the big idea around Platinum? And you know this on the sales side, that it's, right, we want to say yes to people, right? That's our goal, is we really want to be able to empower all of you, right, to be able to say yes to as many borrowers as possible. And I think if we were all together, right, I love how we're able to do this virtually, but I think if we were all together with everybody here on the call and we said, hey, by a raise of hands, how many of you have had an opportunity or a scenario where you had to say no? Do you think it'd be many?
Yeah, I made myself.
Yeah, and I know you guys on the sales side have had that, come across quite a bit. As brokers and loan officers and mortgage professionals, I think all of you have probably had the same experience. And even in the capital market side, I know you and your team come to us quite a bit and say, hey, can we do this?
Yep.
And sometimes, unfortunately, what do we have to say?
No.
Yeah, we have to say
That's
no,
no.
unfortunately, even though we want to help as many people as we can. But the beautiful part about Platinum is that this empowers all of you and us here at Oaktree to say yes more and more. And that's what we're really going to get into. You're going to be able to really expand your reach, right? You're going to cast a wider net. And really what's in it for all of you is that increased business, right? Improving and expanding your book of business. And we're going to talk about some different examples of how we're going to do that.
Sounds good.
Okay, so very high level. When you think of Platinum, this is what we want you to think, right? In that brief description, you can see that we want you to think high LTV. We want you to think high loan amount. And here's the really neat part, is we want you to also think really broad and wide FICO acceptance, right, Ben? And I know working with you in the sales team, a lot of situations where there are high loan amounts and high LTV, it's really that FICO part that really
It's always capped. It always caps us. It always keeps us a little handicapped from what we can do. So having this program out it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. It's a great tool.
Yeah, to put all those three things together, I feel like that's what makes Platinum so special. Is Because you'll see programs out there that have a high loan amount,
Mhm.
that have a high LTV, okay. But then when you pull all three of these things together, a broad FICO acceptance, high loan amount, and high LTV, now we're talking,
Yeah,
right? Now we're
something's getting
talking.
smacked.
Yeah,
Looks like
exactly.
something's getting smacked.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that when we talk about wide, is if you look at that second point there, we're talking first-time home buyers,
Hmm.
all the way up to experienced investors. That's what Platinum can do. It can really serve so many needs. And when I think about Platinum containing, you know, it helps with primary residence, it's second homes, it's investment properties, not only income but DSCR. And we're going to get into all that. And one thing with Platinum that I think we've really seen as well is really those high value, right, net
Yeah,
worth clients.
that is true. So a lot of these things you see come across your desk sometimes will probably be those higher LTV, higher FICOs, um, which you could normally qualify pretty regularly.
Mhm.
That's something that's very easily attainable with other lenders in the market. So what we're going to be doing now is going to dive a little bit deeper into this, get a little more detailed on what we can do here for LTV, FICO, and loan amounts. So just to give you guys some of the key highlights of this one. 90 LTV, $3 million, 680 FICO.
Well, I just want to make sure I heard that right, Ben.
You
Could,
did.
could you say that again, please?
Yes,
Because I
there's
just, that
90
was,
LTV,
oh,
$3 million, 60 LTV. That's not something that's ever been a thing. Normally, if you had a 680 FICO, you're maybe going to be getting, 80, 75 LTV,
maybe.
especially at a $3
Mhm.
million loan amount. You might even not be able to get that $3 million loan amount. So keep it on that same trend here. If you look there right there, 85% LTV on a 680 FICO up to $3 million. That's huge.
That's massive.
85 LTV up to $3 million with a 680 FICO.
You just don't see that very much.
I mean,
That,
really
that's
don't.
pretty rare.
It's wonderful.
So those three numbers, right? Those are the three numbers we really want people to take from this.
Yes.
3 million, 90 LTV, 680 FICO.
Yes.
And we've actually done already some of that,
Yeah.
right?
Got a
This
couple in the
program, we've
pipeline.
already got stuff going with Platinum. So that's the really neat part is there is a market for this. Absolutely.
It's definitely something we're seeing a ton of, especially when it comes to the flexible documentation for these guys. So you can obviously qualify this going full doc. If we couldn't do it full doc, that'd be an issue. You can do full doc, bank statements, asset depletion, 1099, P&L plus bank statements, and DSCR. The great thing about this program is that if you have to go an alternate documentation type like bank statements, you can still qualify for 90% LTV on a 680 FICO up to $3 million. There's no LTV hit. There's no FICO hit. It's right there. You can still qualify for a max, max, max. And our asset depletion program as well. Normally, you're going to be capped around 80% on your LTV. We can go all the way up to 90% on your LTV for an asset depletion and utilization loan. And same for 1099. The P&L program does have a little bit of a cutback for your LTV. You're going to be looking around 80% on that. So not super huge. And then we'll touch a little bit more on DSCR here in a bit, but that that's huge. You
That's,
can do alt doc
yeah.
non-QM programs on this, and
Mhm.
it's qualify for max LTV, max loan amounts, and at a 680 FICO.
Yeah, and I think all of you on the call, you've probably seen with a lot of lenders, when you do have to go alt doc,
Hmm.
they reduce that LTV.
Oh, definitely.
With Platinum, we don't do that. We say, hey, full doc, alt doc, like you said, Ben, we can go all the way up to 93 million, right? Even with that 680 FICO. Now the FICOs go much lower, which we'll talk about here shortly. But yeah, this is just the beautiful part about Platinum is full or alt doc, uh, wide FICO, high LTV, high loan amounts. And I love how we've got flexibility in the documentation as well. It's not
Yeah.
just this.
You can't just do full doc or something. It's
Yeah.
all of our programs here at Oaktree.
Mhm.
Non-QM is what we do. So having the non-QM programs to qualify for this product is amazing. This is
Yeah.
going to be huge.
Absolutely. Now, I will say this really quick before we move on. You'll see on the matrix when you look at it, for a primary purchase, you can go up to 3.5 million,
Hmm.
a little bit lower LTV on that, and that one does require full documentation. But as we go through this presentation, really the meat of everything here is that 3 million, 90 LTV, 680 FICO.
Yeah.
So, okay, awesome. Let's move on and talk investment property loans. So many of you have dealt with investment properties, whether it's on the income qualifying side or the DSCR side, and Platinum has both. The beautiful part about how Platinum works with the income qualifying is, again, same thing. We're going up to $3 million
Hmm.
on the income qualifying here.
Which is massive.
Yeah,
That's not something we've ever had. So that's a huge bonus.
yeah, going up to 3 million at these higher LTVs. Now we go up to 80, which is pretty standard for investment properties.
Hmm.
But again, Ben, those FICOs, like it's so broad. When you look at the matrix, you'll be able to see, I mean, that FICO can come down all the way to 640. And I believe it even goes lower than
Yeah.
that.
It goes to 620.
Yeah, so we can even go down to 620. Now, we will reduce that loan amount just a little bit,
Mhm.
as well as the LTV, which is expected, and all of you on the call, you guys understand that. But just the fact that it's available. And on this part, I just want to mention as well, the doc type doesn't matter.
No.
Right? Like you said, all those alt doc types for investment properties, we can use those really with no adjustment to the LTV on there. So that's really neat. Another really cool thing about Platinum is how we designed it is when you consider the rate environment that we're in right now, not a lot of people want long prepays, right? I think you're seeing that quite a bit on the sell side.
Yeah.
We see that on the capital market side, and that's expected. And so the prepay loan level price adjustments for Platinum are reduced.
Yeah.
When you kind of look at all the offerings and if you look at and see what's out there, um, it's not very much. It's not going to be that much of a price adjustment to have a prepay, even on some of these higher loan amounts
Which
for the
is a
investment properties.
massive bonus because yeah, coming from
Yeah,
the sales side, all I see all day is, yeah, what's your 1 year prepay? What's your 2 year prepay? No one wants to do the 5 year prepay right now.
mhm,
But that's yeah, it's another great thing is that the prepay hit is not that hard, especially for those investors that are looking to take cash out of their properties so they can acquire more properties. I know here in Phoenix we have prices coming down a little bit. And so I'm seeing a ton of refis come in. Lots of people refining their primaries, refining their investment homes, getting that lower rate maybe from when they did it over a couple of years ago.
mhm.
So they can acquire more properties as the prices come down. And like it says here, we do our cash outs up to 75%, letting you guys go pretty high on that LTV. That's pretty standard, but your loan amount can still go to $3 million if you go income qualifying on a cash out on your investment homes. That's
Well, I just feel like we got to say that again. 3 million, 75 LTV, and even going down to 640
mhm.
FICO to get that. I mean, you just don't see that
You don't.
very much. And so that's a beautiful thing. And I love what you said there, Ben. I mean, a lot of investors, what we're seeing right now is a lot of seasoned investors are using this program
Hmm.
to, again, expand their portfolio,
Yeah.
right? Getting that cash out on their current properties to acquire even more properties.
Yep. And that in combination with the prepay hit not being as hard, they'll be doing it on a 1 year prepay and give it another year, the year and 6 months. We're
Mhm.
doing another cash out for them. They're getting more
Yeah,
properties. They're going to be going to come back to us, come back to you as
yeah.
the loan officer.
So this is an amazing non-DSCR option for, those high value properties, seasoned investors. We've actually already seen, again, this part of Platinum really take off. So let's talk a little bit about DSCR. Now, the DSCR, Ben, we love DSCR loans, right? It's a really cool feature. I know people on the call are very familiar with debt, service coverage ratios, but maybe talk a little bit about what makes Platinum DSCR special.
Yeah. So our platinum, what makes it very special for the DSCR program is that normal lenders in normal programs, they'll keep you like if your DSCR ratio comes in under 1. So DSCR, just in case no one knows what that is, it's you're taking your cash flow of your property over the PITI of your home, and you get a ratio. And sometimes you get a bad appraiser, a bad appraisal, a bad 1007. Something comes in, something happens, maybe your loan amount goes up and your ratio drops under 1. Normally, if it drops under 1, that's going to be LTV hit, FICO hit. You're going to be dropped into a different pool of pricing, a whole slew of things you're going to have to be working around to make your loan close. So with this program, you go down to a 0.75 with a 640 FICO. That's
Whoa.
amazing.
Again,
Normally,
I know I've done this a
yeah,
couple times, but I think we need to say that again.
yeah,
Like, I mean,
0.75, 640 FICO. You can go down for your ratio. Um, so that's something we've seen already come in. That's another
yeah,
thing we've seen.
we have.
The ratios coming in under 1, having that lower FICO. We might have had them under a different program in the past, and then that would have been, that'd have been dead loan, or that would have been a really hard loan to get closed. But now we have the program here. It's not an exception. It's not anything that needs, anything funky going on with it. It's right here on the matrix. It's right there. 0.75 with a 640 FICO. Let's a much brighter, broader range of borrowers qualify for these DSCR loans who have that dream of becoming an investor, who want to start investing. This is a program for them. This is perfect.
Yeah, and I love that we have that option available now, and before, like you said, we just wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because in another program that we have today, which is an amazing program, if you are going to come under one, because you're right, we see that a lot on our side, and I know all of you on the call see this as well. That appraisal didn't quite come back like we thought. It just that happens. And if the FICO happened to be under 680 with our other program, which again is a great program, then unfortunately we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now,
a very tough loan to get done.
exactly. Now we absolutely can do it. Now DSCR, it goes up to 2 million, right, on that one. So you've got your income goes up to 3, your income qualifying. If you want to do DSCR, that's going to go up to 2 million. But again, very generous on the cash out, LTVs, the FICO, again, super wide. So we've got both DSCR and income qualifying for the investment ones. Okay, let's talk about property types and what's involved.
Let's do it. So obviously the property types are important. There's a lot of different kinds of properties out there in the world. So very clearly single family homes, 2 to 4 units. We can do condos, non-warrantable condos, condo-tels, and even rural properties. So just to give you guys a little bit more of the flexibility of this program when it comes to property types. Look at the example we have here. Someone's looking to finance a non-warrantable condo in a rural area to secure 90% LTV. We can do it. We can do that property. That's a very strange property. We can do it up to 90% LTV. It's amazing. That's not something we'd ever be able to do. And then we've got some other pretty cool things here. Our condo-tels. Normally you're going to be capped at about 65 to 60 LTV. You can go up to 75% on condo-tels with this program. That's anywhere, depending on which lender you're going to, a 10 to 15% increase in LTV. That's massive for borrowers. That is something that has not been in the market before, and 75 LTV on a condo-tel is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to mention too, you had said rural, is we actually do a fair amount of rural properties here at Oaktree, which is pretty cool. And we can go up to 20 acres. So you'll see that on the matrix as well, as we can go up to 20 acres on rural properties. But the really neat part about this, we just talked about it, was we can actually go 20 acres rural DSCR.
That's great.
I know, I feel like it just keeps coming here that, Platinum has so many applications. And do we do rural properties? Yes, absolutely. But to do 20 acres rural, and if there's a DSCR option, we can do that as well. So now I will say this, and I'm going to apologize to everyone here, but that I believe should say warrantable condo. So warrantable. So that was my mistake. So warrantable condo up to 90 LTV, but our non-warrantables, like you said, and the condo-tels, we do reduce that LTV on there just a little bit. So a little course correction. That one's on me, not you.
No worries. Okay, so we talked about some property types. Obviously, there's all sorts of borrowers as well. So obviously, if we couldn't do it, it'd be bad. U.S. citizens, that's the number one thing. It's probably the most common thing we see. But we know there's other people out there. We know there's a lot of different types of people in the world. So we allow for permanent resident aliens, non-permanent resident aliens, and foreign nationals. From U.S. citizen down to the non-permanent resident, you allow for max LTVs, max FICO, max loan amounts. You're allowed to go for it. There's no hit for it. There's no LTV adjustment. It's yours. You can do it. You can sell it. That's your program. And just in case some of you who do work with those foreign nationals, we allow for them to qualify under this program. 70 LTV is going to be your max with a max DTI 50%. No primary homes allowed. So that means you can go second home and investment home, and you can do income qualifying all those investments or DSCR. So another great thing you guys can sell. A couple more little nuggets you can throw into your basket, things you can do. Yeah, we can do all sorts of people.
Yeah, I love it. And we see a broad mix of this here at Oaktree. Like we do foreign nationals. We've been doing all of this, but it's been spread out through different programs.
Yeah, a couple.
So the beautiful part here, again, Platinum, you think about flexibility on property, flexibility on borrower types, flexibility on loan amount, LTV and FICOs. Like it's just kind of the complete package.
Yeah. The only thing we can't do for borrowers on this program is I-10. That's the only one. So everything else is game.
Yeah, love it.
All right. Just keep moving on here.
Yeah, and I know we've talked a little bit about FICOs, but we really want to just emphasize how this is, again, what I feel like makes Platinum so special here is, you guys know as professionals, someone that has a 760 score, maybe they make $300,000 a year, they've got really great employment history.
Yeah.
They're kind of easy to qualify, Ben, right? I
Everyone
mean,
can do that.
yeah, you work with a lot of professionals that those are easy loans. Like that's
Very
great.
easy.
And we love to do those too. But we've realized too that, what? Life happens.
Mhm.
Nobody's perfect. Sometimes there's situations out of people's control and, unfortunately people's FICOs take a little bit of a hit. But the awesome part about Platinum is that we can go all the way down to 620 and still maintain some of those really high LTV and loan amounts. So
Yeah.
again, we invite you to take a look at the matrix, make sure you see kind of where people can fit. But that's the beautiful part about having, you know, such a wide range of FICO opportunities. And even if you look at that example that we've got on the screen down bottom, a 640 score can still get 85 LTV on a primary residence or even a second home up to $3 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost unheard of. You just don't see that very often.
You really don't. And then that 620 score too, just to touch on a little bit,
Mhm.
that 620 still qualifies for 80% on a $2.5 million loan.
Yeah,
That's huge. That's a very broad,
it
broad
is.
area that you can sell for, that you can start marketing to.
Absolutely. And I think if we were together again, kind of like we asked at the start, if how many of you unfortunately have had to say no, right, to maybe a scenario. I know we've had to on occasion. I know you guys have had to
Yep.
because of those FICOs, kind of where the loan amount and LTV was landing with someone's FICO. But again, our goal with this is to empower all of you that we can say yes as much as possible. That's
Yep.
really our goal with Platinum Advantage. And so, again, life happens. We understand that. You guys understand that. And so, Platinum is here to really help us with that. Let's talk about maybe some of these documentation options. I know we brushed on it before.
Yeah. So the doc type for these loans can be anywhere from full doc to bank statements, asset depletion, 1099, P&L, and DSCR. We just talked about all that. So the bank statement program and asset depletion loans with the 1099 all qualify for those max LTVs, max loan amounts. That's not normal. Those of you who've been in the business a while or kind of getting into it, maybe you've done some of these bank statement loans or you've done some of the 1099. Normally, there's going to be an LTV hit or a loan amount hit just for it being a self-employed borrower. And here we're trying to not exclude those borrowers. We're trying to make sure they have a place to put a loan so they can start, getting the finance that they need. And this program allows for so many of them to qualify much easier than they would going to another bank or to another lender. Because we allow for that 90 LTV, 680 FICO, $3 million loan. It's a very, very broad spectrum for these borrowers who have been cut out of the market for so long because of their employment, because they make money, because they have good accountants who write their taxes off, and they can't show much on their tax returns. It's just something that we've taken into account here at Oaktree to make sure that our non-QM programs that we are known for and that people love us for able to qualify for these higher loan amounts, higher LTVs, with maybe not the best credit. It's a beautiful program for these self-employed borrowers. And just to give you guys a little example here, you get a self-employed borrower, maybe they're doing some kind of side hustle. They've got, they're doing a bunch of other things. People are trying to make money nowadays. It happens. And he's trying to buy a home. He wants 90 LTV. Maybe he doesn't have the best credit. Maybe he's got like a 685, just because he doesn't have enough credit or he had a late or something on a credit card. It happens. We'd still be able to qualify that borrower for a 90 LTV loan, $3 million with a 685 FICO, going bank statements, using our non-QM programs to help borrowers qualify for mortgages, to help them get into their homes. And that's something that you guys should start to sell. If you're not familiar with non-QM, give our team a call. We're more than happy to teach it, to show you what these programs do, how they work, and how you guys can implement them into your daily calls, your daily sales, so you can help people. Yeah, that's just another great thing with this program. It's a very flexible doc types.
Yeah,
It's great.
and I think with all of these doc types, and again, everything we've talked about so far, I mean, there's such an opportunity for us, and there's massive market opportunities,
Oh yeah.
right, for all of you. And let's talk a little bit about that, right? So, right, we have so many things that we can offer here. And look, Ben, you know better than anybody and everybody on this call, this is this is a relationship business,
Definitely.
right? So maybe talk a little bit about how having knowledge of non-QM and what's available to you can really help strengthen and even grow
Oh yeah.
relationships.
So just to give you guys a little bit of an example here, um, over the past week or so, I got a call from a guy, assistant loan officer like yourselves. He told me that he got a call from one of the realtors he's been trying to reel in for the longest time. He said this is one of the best realtors in their area. He couldn't wait to get a call from this guy. He finally called him, and the realtor told him the story of how he got this call. So don't be this guy. So what happened was the guy got a call from, or this realtor called his main broker, his main loan officer, but that loan officer only did conforming loans. And this realtor had a bank statement loan that he needed to give this guy. The guy was self-employed. He'd been self-employed for a long time. He writes everything off on his tax returns because he's got a good account. Um, so he called this other broker who's been bugging his phone every week, every other day, calling him, "Hey man, what you got going on? Anything I can help with?" And he calls this broker, this mortgage broker, and tells him, "Hey, I have a guy with a bank statement loan. He's been self-employed for this long. His FICO's at a 760, whatever. Maybe it's not even that good. I don't remember." But he calls him and he tells him that he's needing help to find a mortgage for a $3 million loan at 90 LTV. So he calls me. He tells me the whole story. And what I took from that to share with you guys is that he was being a mortgage broker in as key as it can be. He knows the programs, he knows there's bank statement loans, he knows there's non-QM, he knows how to navigate what's getting thrown at him, he knows which way to take loans for a very, like we say here, a very wide variety of borrowers. You guys need to have a wide basket, a wide net of programs and products to give to your brokers or your borrowers, to give to your realtors to help these people qualify for these mortgages. And this program is no exception to it. It allows for those super high LTVs, super high loan amounts, lower FICOs on those alt doc programs. And that's huge.
Absolutely. And people are going to ask, hey, do you know anybody who
Yeah.
does this? Do you know where we can do this? And we want to empower all of you. We never want you to be in that position to where you say no.
Yeah.
Right. We want you to be in that position to where you can say, yes, absolutely.
No.
I've got someone who can do that. Right. And we can do that here at Oaktree. Right. That's how we can help all of you. But to Ben's point, you're going to get asked by realtors, hey, can you do this?
Yeah.
And your answer should be
Yes.
yes.
And that's our goal here.
Absolutely.
Tell you guys, so you can say yes every time someone asks you, a
Mhm.
borrower asks you, a friend asks you, you have a realtor asking you, just so you have the option to say yes to every scenario that comes through. And this is that program. If it doesn't qualify in any of our other programs, this program is the one they'll qualify on. This is the most flexible, most wide-ranged program that we have that kind of encumbers all of our programs into one.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I think we got muted there for a sec, Ben.
Very odd.
Okay, I think we're back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We're back, everybody.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. So the case study here. We have some examples to go over with you guys. Some of the scenarios that are live and in our pipeline right now. It's one of those examples is one that we've got in our loan, in my pipeline right now. We brought in like a week or two ago. And we've been working through it. We're going through the motions to closing it up this month. This gentleman brought me a $3.5 million scenario that he needed at 90 LTV. The borrower had a 710 FICO. Normally, that is a no. That's a get out of my face type of loan. But with this program, with it coming out over the last week or so, we were able to bring it out or bring it in, and we had a pretty creative way to do it. So we did a first lien at $3 million under our platinum program. With a 710 FICO, he qualifies for $3 million at 90% LTV. So the way we made this work was we did a $3 million first and a $500,000 HELOC on the back end of this loan. So that brings it a combined loan amount of 3.5 and a combined LTV of 90%. So you might be thinking, well, how does that work? It's 3.5 at 90. The way that this program looks at it is it's $3 million on it first at a 90% LTV. So we would still price this out as a 90% loan, but we're able to give this guy the creativity to help qualify this borrower for exactly what he needed. Now he doesn't need to go get a gift fund. He doesn't need to go do anything special. He doesn't need to go sell his cars to get some more cash. Like the guy's going to qualify. He's going to be good to go. And the best part about this too is this is a bank statement loan. This is a 12-month bank statement program that we have going on right now. This is a crazy scenario that we can do. That would have normally been sorry, we can't do that. Why are you even bringing this to me? 90 LTV, $3.5 million on a 710 FICO going bank statements.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is.
I mean, and that's the amazing part about Platinum and how powerful it really is. And I want to share on the capital market side, right? So we partner with Ben and the sales team to help build these programs for all of you so you can continue to say yes as much as possible. And I want to compare just a little bit with one of our current programs, Investor Advantage, which again is a great program, is probably one of our more popular programs. That if you had a little bit lower FICO, let's say it's sub 660, and you wanted to go income qualifying, the max that you could really do on a rate term or cash out is $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where that program, caps out. But with Platinum, you can actually, if you have that same FICO of 660, or maybe just under 660, you can actually go cash out or rate term up to $3 million.
This is huge.
Yeah, that's just how powerful and amazing this program is. And your LTVs are actually a little higher.
Yeah.
So we've got some more options. Again, we're kind of widening that box. We're expanding the credit availability to all of you for your current and your brand new clients that you're going to get, right, with this program.
Yeah.
Maybe another example we talked about, you really hit this right on the head with DSCR. It's with that sub 1 DSCR ratio, right? If you've got that lower FICO below 680, it would be very hard to do.
Very hard.
Yeah, but right now with Platinum, it's on the matrix.
It's right there.
We can do it, right? Down to 640, sub 1 DSCR, down to 0.75.
Yeah.
Even up to $1 million. And you can do rate term, you can do cash out still on those.
Yeah.
So the opportunity is there for us. Okay, those are some great examples. I feel like we've given Platinum some really good love here, Ben. I mean, we've really been able to showcase how powerful this is. Let's go to some questions. So we're going to open up the chat and the questions and see what you guys have, if any. Okay. All right, let's see. And again, we just want to, while we're pulling up those questions, we just want to acknowledge all of you for spending some time with us. Again, your time is valuable. We realize that. But learning more about non-QM, which is a growing segment, and the programs available to you, you're just empowering yourself, right? It's another arrow in the quiver, right? So to speak, right?
Yeah.
And preparing you to just get even more business. Okay.
Can you price out the 3 million 90 LTV 680 FICO?
Ooh, that's a great question. Now, I will say, right, prices change every day. You guys know that. We know that. But yesterday, right, it was a little over 2 million. It was 90 LTV. It was bank statement. Primary. This one was kind of mid to high 8%.
Wow.
Right. So it was very reasonable. We're not talking 10 and a half, 11. Yeah, we're not doing that. So you can actually access the rate sheet. So that's available. That goes out every day. But now I will say the higher the FICO, you guys know this, right? The better that price will be. But just the fact that now we have the availability and the option to do it is amazing. Okay.
Also, thank you all for telling us that we lost audio. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. That was very interesting. All right. So you said, do you calculate the bank statements or do you have a calculator to use? So yes, we do have a income calculator for you guys to use. For you guys to use it, all you have to do is register a loan And if you contact your AE or contact me if you're not signed up yet, we'll go ahead and walk you through how to register a loan, how to go through our income desk. We go through a couple different things. You need to know how many employees your borrower has. If they're, self-employed, they don't have anybody else, then it's no employees. What kind of business it is, product or service. And then that's really it. You have to have 12 or 24 months of bank statements. Takes about a day to 2 days to get you the income back. But as soon as we get it in, gets sent back out to you guys, and it's an underwritten income. It's for you guys to use, to pre-approve, to use in your 1003s. It's great. Yeah. Can you do full doc and bank statements? I believe so. Yeah. So if you have someone who's a W-2 borrower and they also have their own company, whatever it may be, you would be able to still qualify them going this program. You'd be able to mix and match the bank statements with the full doc. It would get priced out at worst case. So worst case would be bank statements. That's how we price out the loan. But yes, you can go W-2 plus bank statements, or like a husband and a wife. Maybe the husband's W-2, the wife's self-employed. Many different things you guys can do. How do you verify the income?
Yep. Yep. So how do you verify income for foreign nationals to document DTI? So we use, foreign credit,
Yeah.
or, 680 FICO is kind of the standard for that.
And the income you're saying you can do for DTI. Yeah, so there'd be a DTI. They could either go full doc, or I believe they can still do bank statements. They can be self-employed in the States to do this program and get the income. So you can do bank statements or full doc. I don't believe you can do foreign bank statements though, if that's what you were meaning by the foreign part there in parentheses. Who did We did the HELOC. We have a HELOC program here at Oaktree as well. It's a non-QM based HELOC as well. So it allows for the bank statements, the 1099, all that kind of stuff. You just can't do P&L or asset depletion on it. But we have a non-QM HELOC that allows for 90% LTV. Yeah. Is the DSCR LTV 80%? Yes, 80% is going to be the max on that. Yep, 80%, up to $2 million.
Yeah, great questions, everybody.
It is not available in Texas. Sorry, that's a bummer. We tried. It got shut down.
Yeah, did a few. I will say this too, and these are great questions. Thank you for putting these in, everybody, and keep them coming if you have them. But I just want to mention as well, really quick, on the DTI, is standard DTI for this program is 50. However, again, back to how powerful this program is and how all-encompassing and wide-reaching it is we can go up to 55 DTI in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
So if you need to cross over that 50, we can on primary and secondary homes only. So we're not going to do any investment properties. And then you have to have at least a 680 FICO, right? So 680, there's that number again, 680 or greater. And the LTV has to be 80 or less. So a few little, things you got to think about, but we can go up to 55 if needed.
Very good. That's actually huge.
Yeah.
Normally there's a whole different matrix you have to go through if you have a expanded DTI is what we call it. So that's huge. It's just right there in the matrix.
Yeah.
That's not an exception. It's just right there. That's very good. HELOC. We keep getting HELOC questions. Come on.
That's okay.
No, I'm just messing with you. Yes, it is for non-owner as well. Max LTV is going to be 85. You can do non-owner.
Yep. And the max is 500. Just so everyone's aware. 500,000 on our HELOC.
Minimum is 150K. For the bank statement program, are there exceptions to go over max loan amount with 2+ positive factors? Probably not. You can correct me if I'm wrong. This program doesn't have very many exceptions because most of it's on the matrix. Most of the things that you would consider an exception is right here on the matrix.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
if I'm wrong.
Yeah, we'll certainly consider, anything. We want to make sure we look at everything as best we can. But to your point, Ben, yes, I mean, that is very wide. It's pretty comprehensive.
Yes.
But if you have a scenario, yes, please call Ben.
Yeah, let us know.
His team. Yeah.
We'll always ask. We're not going to say no. But just since it's right here on the matrix of what we can do and it's very detailed, that was just my assumption of probably not. So we can always ask.
Oh, and it looks like right above this, Jason, you asked, does this qualify in Hawaii? Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. I missed.
Absolutely.
All right. This one. The rate she's showing max at 2999999 for 90 LTV under platinum. I know it's only $1, but setup purposes want to bring it so you don't get hard stopped and wondering why.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Yeah, we'll take a look.
Yeah, it still goes to 3 mil. It's
Yeah.
not 29999.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
3 mil.
And actually, thank you, Samantha, for bringing that up. And I want to mention as well, when you look at the rate sheet, you may not see, even though we do go up to 3 million, 90 LTV, 680 FICO, in that 90 LTV bucket, you may not see a rate. And that's just because there's no par pricing to begin with. So if you only look at the rate sheet, you won't see it. However, if you go into the system and you go price alone, you will get a price. And we've had that question come up a couple times. So that's just on our side, there's just no straight par pricing for, again, that really high LTV, high loan amount, and maybe some of those lower FICOs. Does it price? Yes. Can we do them? Absolutely.
Yeah,
So don't get, yeah, exactly. Ben's done them, right? I was actually helping with a few of them the other day as well. So don't think they can't be done. Go into the system, make sure you price it because you will get a price.
On the rate and term DSCR, rate and term, we can do it like 1-day seasoning. Rate and term for all of our programs, we don't have a seasoning requirement. You can do rate and term pretty much instantly. I actually did one the other day where they bought it hard money, literally 3 days before they brought me the loan. And it's rate and term, just went off the current value of the home, and we're done. We did the loan. Super easy. LTV for non-occupied is 85, 710 FICO. For LTV for non-occupied is 85 for 710 FICO.
Okay, so what, let's see. So
you just mean investment properties?
Juliet, yeah, what, yeah, I guess, what's your question on this one? So LTV for non-occupied is 85%. So we go up to 80 on investment property, income qualifying, and DSCR. Yep, so yeah, FICO, that's a great FICO, so, you know, nothing there. But yeah, so 80% on both income and DSCR. Second home, we do go up to 90.
Yes. 80% for non-occupants. All right, perfect.
Yeah, no, these are great questions, everybody. Thank you for sending them in. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Looks good. Okay, so again, I want to thank you all for being here. This is my information right here. That's my direct line that goes straight to my desk. So if you have questions or you have scenarios, you want to go over them with me, shoot me a call. It's right there. And that's my email address as well. Feel free to send me scenarios, send me questions. I'm more than happy to take a look at them, help you guys out. For all of our matrices, excuse me, and just videos on other things we do here at Oaktree and everything else, our website's right there, nonqmexpert.com. That's us. We're Oaktree. We're the non-QM experts. And please feel free to visit our YouTube channel as well at oaktreewholesale.com or at Oaktree Wholesale, I'm sorry, is our YouTube channel. We've got many other webinars on there, other training videos, all sorts of things on our YouTube channel. So if you're looking to get more educated in this space, go watch them. They're great videos. And I saw another question came through. One sec. Let me get that really quick. Where'd it go? Questions disappeared. They did disappear.
Yeah, we'll be able to see the questions afterwards, and we can
Yeah,
certainly.
we can reach back out.
Yeah, we'll reach out.
It disappeared.
But let's talk about the special event that I know we've got coming up. Really quick here.
Need logging the system. So yeah, send me an email, Jason. It was B as in Ben and then Martin, MARTIN at oaktreefunding.com. Shoot me an email. I'll help you out with that. All right. Yeah, let's go over this real quick.
Okay. Well, I think when we talk about sales, right, everyone wants, you know, to be better at sales, right? How to close the deal, how to grow your customer base. And I know Jeremy Miner's going to give an amazing presentation on how to do that.
Yes.
So here's all the information, but seats are limited, right, Ben?
Yes, seats are very limited. Make sure you go register. As soon as you get the link, it's sent out through emails. I believe we were putting it in the chat as well. It's either going to be one of our moderators. They should be putting it in there. Click that link, go to the link, go register, and we'll see you all there. This will help you guys get more loans closed. It'll be great.
All right. Well, from us here at Oaktree, thank you so much again for joining us. And again, we are empowering you to say yes more often with Platinum Advantage. Let Ben know if you have any questions. We're here to serve you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.